Hey people, yes, it's Mark. I'm here with, and this is self-defense video 22. 22, can you believe it? You have been with us for the last 22 videos, working through this lockdown. Well, lockdown 1, we are now in lockdown 2.0, but we move. Yes, we've been looking at, technically we don't move, yeah, we're locked down, so yeah, we don't move, do we? Over the last few videos, we've been looking at catching kicks. We're going to recap, then I'm going to teach you one more technique of catching kicks and how to counter. But yeah, so let's just pick up our shadowing, working from the base upwards. So I stance, our guard, Talal's going to start shadowing, and I'm just going to pick out some of the pointers that you guys should be ensuring that you're practicing at home. So let's just start with our movement to start. So no striking, just our movement. So moving around, nice and light on our feet, ready for war, ready for combat. So in case someone comes to you nice and quick, you can move nice and quick, just like that. Secondly, the positioning of our hands. Are we in a safe zone? Is danger getting closer to us? So the closer danger gets, the higher your hands should be. Good. So those are the two first points of call. The position of your feet, positioning of your hands. Excellent. Now, I was always taught your movement is your first line of defense. Then we bring in our techniques to blocking headshots, blocking ribs, and blocking leg shots. So let's bring in our defenses. Go. So you can see Talal is picking up, checking those kicks. His hands are there, he's checking kicks, he's moving around, he's using his pivoting, which is good, it's perfect. What about block? Oh, look at that, he stepped back to avoid punches. What else have you got for punches? We've looked at our parrying, good. We looked at our double blocks. We looked at our answer the telephones for those hooks, good, nice and tight. So he's moving around, he's parrying, good, he's answering the telephone, he's double blocking. Obviously, he's been doing this for a long time. He recently just had a birthday, so that marks about, what, 8 years or so of doing this? About 8 years or so of doing this. So you can see it's quite fluid for him. If you're quite new and you've joined us halfway through, even if you joined us right at the beginning, it doesn't mean you have to rush. Being nice and simple, nice and tight, making sure we've got the techniques right. If you've got the techniques right, everything else will come. Okay, so we've looked at blocking those punches for the head, for the body. Remember, dropping that guard, stepping back, double blocking for the center line. Let's look at the kicks. Talal showed us that we can check, good. Shin to shin to block those ribs. Same for the leg kicks. What about front kicks? We've got our parries, good. So let's bring it in. Let's imagine that our opponent is only throwing punches and kicks to us. So we're blocking and checking, blocking, parrying, 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 blocking, good. Stepping back, good. Parrying, excellent. Remember, a good way to remember the parry, right hand for right leg, left hand for left leg. Good, parrying, blocking, boom. Excellent. In the earlier videos, we looked at slipping those straight punches, taking our head off the center, bringing our shoulder onto the center. Good, just like how we would cross a jab to the body. We looked at rolling, also underneath those big wild hooks. Again, if those hooks come wild, you can get right underneath because you see it coming from the mile. If you're well proportioned like myself and you're up against someone tall and they're going for those big wild hooks, it doesn't take much to have to roll underneath. It's a bit more challenging if you're vertically blessed, if you want to call it that, where those come and you have to duck really low. In Thai boxing, we don't do much rolling because you also have to think about head kicks and obviously knees to the head. As you can see, if I threw this and I threw my knee up at the same time, it's very likely he could catch a knee to the head. That is something you don't want to do. So, light rolls, slips, blocks, parries, and checks. Let's bring them all in, let's go. So we're still in defense mode here. Good. All right, now let's bring in our strikes. All of our strikes, we've got our punches, hooks. Excellent, we've got our kicks, we've got our teeps. Let's bring it all in, and then we're gonna start to mix it up. Good, excellent Talal. Nice, he's blocking and countering with kicks. Beautiful. Good, bringing that head movement as well. So when I say head movement, I'm looking at the slipping and the rolling and countering with those techniques. Good, he's bringing his knees now. Knees are in close relation to what strikes?
Hooks and uppercuts.
Okay, yes, because we got our straight punches. So straight punches, we haven't got any knees, but we've got our kicks. So I like to think of them like married couple, straight punches and kicks. Then you've got our hooks and our knees, also married couples, yeah? Hooks and our knees. Also, we've got uppercuts, close relation to our hooks, and then further on down the line, we can talk about elbows. So when you're throwing your hooks and your uppercuts, think about your knees as well. When you're countering your knees, think about bringing in hooks and uppercuts as well. So let's just go. Punches, kicks, knees, all our defenses for 30 seconds. You should have done your warm up and stretch video. So you should be nice, warm, flexible. We haven't looked at knee into the head. What, when we touch elbows, we'll bring in knees to the head as well. That's it. All the way through, pushing through, really thrusting those hips. Good, nice hook to the body, hook to the head. Beautiful. Excellent. Think about your angles. That's nice, good angle. And time, okay. Lastly, we looked at a lot of catches, and that's what we're gonna base today's video about, is perfecting our technique when it comes to catching. The first catch we looked at was catching that hook, that big wild hook that I spoke about earlier, which is easy to roll. So that hook comes, you can roll. A lot of the times that street hook will come from here. Big indication that something really, really dangerous is coming. So if that big hook is coming from down here, it also gives us the ability to block it quite well or catch it quite well. So for example, Talal throws a big wild hook, boom, I've caught it with my forearm. I'm not catching it with my hand. You could catch it with your hand, but then it just becomes like a tug of war type of, like, you don't want a tug of war, you want to control. So I catch it with my forearm, boom, here. In this moment here, remember we looked at locking. So creating this angle with our hand will stop them from trying to slip or trying to gain more control over your arm. But at the same time we do that, we look to control the neck. So watch again, we're here, that big hook comes, I'm here, same time. So I'm doing 3 things at once. Well, maybe 4 if you want to talk about how we trap the neck as well. So watch again, multitasking at its best. We're here, now we control the head. We're not bringing the head close, we control it at a distance. Now we think about our feet. Where should our feet be? Watch again. Here. In the earlier videos, we looked at pivoting, moving. We focused a lot on how to actually get good momentum as we turn. Good momentum as we turn. So stepping wide and spinning backwards is how we get good momentum. It saves us for having to use our back and our strength in our arms to try and control what's happening in the top half. We start from the legs. So watch again. We catch, hold, I step out. So remember his head's on my left side. So I want to go backwards. I'm not going to go this way. Look, I'm all trapping my wrist. This became really uncomfortable. I've also brought my legs even closer to him. So if he wanted to grab one of my legs, good. If you imagine he lifted it up. So now I'm off balanced. What am I going to do now? We want to go backwards. That's why we go backwards, people. So watch again. Trap. We step out. We spin backwards. We bring that head down. So we're not bringing it to our hip on this one like we did with the kicks. We're just controlling it down to the ground, yeah? So watch again. Trap, step out. Yeah? So as we step out, just like a compass in maths or whatever it is that, or art, you spin it back round, control the head. So from here, we've controlled. If we wanted to spin them into the ground, we could. We literally just tuck the head underneath, use that same momentum to roll them. Or we've got, do the other side for me, or we've got our counters. So from here, I can throw that knee, boom, straight into the body, that knee straight into the head, or I can step, control the head. Again, I've got my knee, and I even talked about how to trip. So trapping that back leg as you move that head around, and then they will tumble onto the floor. So that was catching those hooks. What did we look at? We looked at catching those kicks, right? Those rib kicks. Same techniques. Stepping with the power first. Stepping with the power, catching the hook. So we're not necessarily stepping away, which we can do. We're not necessarily stepping to, which we also can do. What we're doing, we're stepping with. That will create options to or throw or stay, basically. So for example, let me show you what I mean. So Talal is gonna throw that big right kick. As he throws, I'm gonna step. So already he was aiming to hit me here, but now I'm here. That's reduced the power already. I step, I catch. Good, perfect catch. Remember I said stepping with. So now I'm halfway between the knee and the ankle. I have the option. I can step to, I can step throw. Option. Whereas if I step away, all I'm left with is throw. No other option. If I step to, all I'm left with is having to respond nice and quick because we're nice and close range. No other option unless I go backwards, but I have to go further back now. It takes longer. So step two, and we're just gonna parry it to start off with. Here, step, parry away. So remember that motion. Step with, make space, and push away. One more time. Step with, make space, push away. And it works for both sides. Again, for the other side, step two, away, parry away. Making sure the opposite hand stays nice and high. That will make sense in the later videos. Okay, option number two when it comes to catching the kicks. So the first one we parried, the next one we've caught. Grab the back of the head, and just like how we did when we caught that hook, we step out, step wide, bring the head to the hip, and he can tumble. Watch again, catch, step in, out and wide, bring his head to the hip, and that will create an off balance. So unlike with the hook, where we kept the distance to stabilize them, we are now off balancing them. We have their leg up, and we're bringing their head down. Kind of like a seesaw, know what I mean? All right, so that's option number two. Option number three, also, we catch that kick. And remember what I said when it comes to how tight we catch it. Nice and tight, up, down, and then we literally turn that hip, like we're throwing a hook, boom, and we can manipulate. If they're quite well balanced, remember we just step all the way around and twist them to the ground. You might find their leg might get trapped at the back, so all you do is just let it slide a little bit so their foot is more there rather than the full leg. Throw the other one for me, just so I can give an example. Step, if I'm here, I want the foot. If I'm too close, the leg will get trapped. So you want to be halfway, catch that foot, control that hip, twist it in, and as you go, you'll see you'll fall to the ground. One last one we can do when it comes to catching the kick is if we caught with the opposite hand, just to give you an option. It works the same way as the first couple options. So as that kick comes and I end up catching here, all we do is bring it to the opposite side, and you can let it go, or like we did with the front kicks, you can come behind and sweep them to the floor. So watch again. I caught here, bring it across, come behind, sweep to the floor. So as I've shown you that, let's move on to front kicks. So front kicks, doesn't matter which one, it comes up, you can parry. Remember I said, left hand for left leg. Same for the opposite side. Come up and parry. Good. What if I caught it? Opposite hand. So now I've caught it. Just like I showed you. It's like catching that rib kick here. Bring it across, step, sweep them onto the ground. Same for the opposite side. Caught it here onto the ground. What if I catch it with the same hand? Up here. Now we've got to think about this center line. I want to avoid this. I don't want to bring it here because now I open up his strong side. He's got that big cross, so I want to bring it here. Parry it away. So watch again. Same side, parry it away. For the opposite side, parry it away. And the last one we looked at is lifting it and walking. So that one comes, I can catch two hands up and I walk off balance, or I can catch one hand up, walk. Same for the other side. I can also catch with the same hand and walk. So you just have to be careful about the positioning of the foot to the face. You don't want that knee to come back and get caught right up in the face. All right, so last one I'm going to show you for the front kick. It's very simple, but it's about getting this motion with your hands. Catch, swoop. So watch.
Front kick.
Either one. Comes up, we're holding it now. And sweep. Pull it down to the ground and away. So watch again. Up, come down, and around. So that's what the momentum that you want. It didn't look like much at first. So watch again in slow motion. Up and down. But in quick motion, you'll see he spins. You don't want to go the opposite way, because this is what it looked like. Yeah, that's what it looked like. So you always go in the motion of the way of the kick. So if it's a front kick, come up, you want the back side to up and pull it down to the ground. If you really, really wanted to, you could actually like proper, so go again, up, run with it and drag it. The left side works the same way. Up.
Wait, I'm gonna pull him off my bum, bro.
He's really trying to hold himself up. Up, pull it down, and again, up, pull it down. So, that is literally what we've done in the last few videos. I've tried to focus a bit more on the technique rather than the excitement of actually getting your opponent on the floor, etc, etc, etc. Now we've got about a minute left. What I want you to do is really start going through those techniques. Feel free to go back in the video looking at how to step, turn, or parry. Literally step, catch, keep it tight, turn, or parry. Think about catching that front kick. Remember to react quickly. We don't want to hold it in front of our face. So either drag it around, so watch my feet again, step open all the way through, same for the other side, or parry it, go through it. I'm going to insert some clips at the end of this video to give you an idea of how these techniques are used in ring sports, in combat. You can really see how effective they are. I hope you enjoy it. I will see you in the next video. I've been Mark, he's been, you've been great of course, and I'll see you on the next one.
Wait. The video's not done. You don't need to like and subscribe, because if you saw what I just done to my trainers, it was a darkness. I need you lot to support, otherwise it's not worth it, guys. We need you right now, because this is, it's not right, it's a darkness right now. Love you guys.